I'm Kiki.
And I'm Indy.
And this is the Baeble Block Party.
The Baeble Block Party is a 2-hour tour.
2,000 hours?
Nope, just 2 hours of some of the very best.
The very best.
Yes, the very best videos playing across the Baeblemusic universe.
The Baeblemusic universe. Today, we're kicking things off with one of the most magical sessions we've ever filmed.
I don't think we've ever met anyone quite like Norwegian singer Aurora. She's a very curious person.
She wanted to touch the light bulbs in our studio and spoke about how peculiar it was to have people listening to her music all around the globe. Like you.
Speaking of the globe, how's your geography knowledge, Kiki?
Well, I actually was the junior high geography beat champion 2 years in a row, Indy.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, why are you so surprised?
Well, we recently had the Oakland, California band Geographer, get it? By the studio for a session. The band played a batch of songs from a soon-to-be-released EP, and it was beautiful.
We are crushing it today.
Vilken lapp?
I'm performing with two artists. Making art behind us was quite special. I've never done that before, and it was really lovely. And you can actually hear them walking on the floor while we're singing. I don't know. It was nice having people doing their thing while I'm doing my thing.
Thanks, guys.
It's a really cool idea having them painting in the background.
Yeah.
I've never done that before. That's nice. Everything that's new is quite inspiring, isn't it? Because it's kind of unknown, and it awakens your what is it called when you are when you're wondering, curiosity. It awakens your curiosity, which is good.
Asleep in my own tears, I cry for the world, for everyone, and I built a boat to float in. I'm floating away. I can't recall last time I opened my eyes to see the world less beautiful, and I built a cage to hide in. I'm hiding, I'm trying to battle the night. Let love conquer your mind. Warrior, warrior, just reach out for the light. Warrior, warrior, I am warrior, yeah, yeah, yeah. Warrior, warrior, I am warrior, yeah, yeah, yeah. Warrior, warrior of love. I stand behind a wall of people and thoughts, mind controlling, and I hold a sword to guide me. I'm fighting my way. I can't recall last time I opened my eyes to see the world less beautiful, and I built a cage to hide in. I'm hiding, I'm trying to battle the night. Hide, let love conquer your mind. Warrior, warrior, just reach out for the light. Warrior, warrior, I am warrior, yeah, yeah, yeah. Warrior, warrior, I am warrior, yeah, yeah, yeah. just reach out for the light. Warrior, warrior, I am warrior, yeah, yeah, yeah. Warrior, warrior, I am warrior, yeah, yeah, yeah. Warrior, warrior of the heart. Warrior of the heart. I'm a warrior of the heart. Warrior of the
It's a very strange thing. It's almost like sharing your diary with people. But still, many of my songs are not about me, but just things I, at least, know people are experiencing all around the world. And it is a very strange thought, knowing that someone might be listening to one of my songs right now. And maybe that person is crying or running, maybe making some food, dinner, pancakes, waffles, all sorts of lovely. Sorry, I'm a bit hungry. My first album will be named, or my first child, I guess, will be named "All My Demons Greeting Me as a Friend." And it's always hard to answer, to explain the title. It takes, in my head, it takes many words. It's easier to describe it with 11, 12 songs. It strikes me as a quite wonderful thing to have, because we all have demons. I know it's quite a dramatical way of putting it, but we have dark memories or experiences in life, and it's nice to think that maybe in the future you'll be greeted by them as a friend, and you will realize that even though they were bad, it was important that they've happened, because you've grown as a person and you've learned a lot. And I don't know, it's just I just like the atmosphere of it. Okay. Am I doing Aurora again now, or just okay? Murder song.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He holds the gun against my head. I close my eyes and bang, I am dead. I know he knows that he's killing me for mercy, and here I go. Oh, 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 and here I go. Oh, 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 oh. And he holds my body in his arms. He didn't mean to do no harm, and he holds me tight. Oh, he did it all to spare me from the awful things in life that comes, and he cries and cries. go. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. And here I go. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. He holds my body in his arms. He didn't mean to do no harm, and he holds me tight. Oh, he did it all to spare me from the awful things in life that comes. He cries and cries. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The gone is gone, and so am I. And here I go. I quite like it when you can hear the floor.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice when? So I like it when you do. It's a nice sound. Making a song is definitely the most satisfying part of my life. In general, I think it's just like dreaming. You process everything you've seen or heard that day. It helps me to understand what I've just experienced or what I've seen someone else experience, and it helps me move on. It's an amazing way to escape a reality, but it's also an amazing way to really be and live in reality. If you feel sad, it's nice to have a song that can really emphasize that sadness and just help you and let you cry for a moment, which is, it makes the moment more real, which I think is kind of the most important thing for me with music, is that music can help you feel emotions that you need to feel, unless you will kind of blow up, or at least I would, like a bomb. When I write music, it depends what mood I'm in, I guess. It can be very calming, and you feel like you've been meditating afterwards. But if I write a song about something that I'm really angry or passionate or provocative, that word, then I can be, it can just upset me, and I will be very angry in the end, and I have to punch a pillow or something after I've written it. And some songs can make me really sad, which will take longer time to write. A sad song often takes a bit time because you have to have some cry breaks. Broken mornings, broken nights, and broken days in between. Open ground, the sky is open, makes an open scene. And just like in fiction, in every addiction, or fantasies taking over, awake me. I've been looking for the conqueror, but you don't seem to come my way. I've been looking for the only one, but you don't seem to come my way. Broken me and broken them, and you are broken and only destruction. Oh, fantasy, take me over and break me. I've been looking for the conqueror, but you don't seem to come my way. I've been looking for the only one, but you don't seem to come my way. I've been looking for the conqueror, but you don't seem to come my way. I've been looking for the only one, but you don't seem to come my way. But I feel alive. I feel alive. I feel alive. I feel alive. I've been looking for the conqueror, but you don't seem to come my way. I've been looking for the only one, but you don't seem to come my way. I've been looking for the conqueror, but you don't seem to come my way. I've been looking for the only one, but you don't seem to come my way. I feel
Music is the way I move through life. I also just don't want to sing or perform a song that doesn't mean something to me. Hey, I'm Geographer, and you're watching Baeblemusic. I'm gonna play the first single from my new EP, and it's called Read My Mind. It's about a desire for simplicity that is impossible, but seems like it could be in a relationship. Baby, I could be your acid. I know that you could take me down right under your tongue. Maybe we don't need to test it, and I could just let my mind, let my heart just roam. If you could read my mind, you could be happy all the time. No feeling left behind. You could believe it all tonight. If you could read my mind. Baby, I don't need a lesson. I just wanna let this ride until I know you're mine. And catwords are calling me to listen. They just wanna leave it up to chance, so let it lie. If you could read my mind, you could be happy all That was one of the last ones that I wrote for the EP. I think it was the second to last one that I wrote. Because as the EP was going on, it was constantly changing, because it was like, okay, these are the best songs. And then it's like, oh, but this one really fits, or like this one really trumps that one. So Read My Mind was one of those, where when I wrote it, I immediately knew like, oh, this has a lot of impact. It was kind of a beautiful idea of just, what if we just understood each other?
Yeah. Cool. All right, this next song is called So Low, and I guess it's just about when lots of things are going your way, but you still feel that weight of life and you don't know why. So it's a pretty simple song, and here it is.
Everything I have is broken. All my promises are hollow. Everything I make gets stolen, and every good day's just borrowed. I can't get much higher, but still I feel so low. I'm high as a kite, babe. So why do I feel so low? I can see my eyes from me, but I'm looking for my home. I'm dancing on the ceiling, but it feels just like before. I'm high as a kite, babe. So why do I feel so low? Everything I see is golden, and everyone but me can hold it. It's 3 and the bars are closing, but my heart is still wide open. I can't get much higher, but still I feel so low. I'm high as a kite, babe. So why do I feel so low? I can see my eyes from me, but it doesn't look like my home. I'm dancing on the ceiling, but it feels just like before. I'm high as a kite, babe. So why do I feel so low? Got what I need, why do I feel so low? I'm down on my knees, how did I get so low? Why do I feel so low?
It's surprising how sometimes things that worked great in the studio just don't transfer to the stage. So then I rely on my band a lot to bring their ideas to the table, and we kind of craft the live show around that, going from the basis that I really do like it to sound more or less like the album, but as the years go on, I get more and more open to prioritizing the live experience rather than, okay, let's make sure it sounds exactly like this. And then I started writing So Low, and it just kind of it was one of those songs that just came out. And that one's about just, you know, what I've been describing of the 2.5 years of just sort of like feeling horrible, but really for no good reason. Just kind of being tired of that, you know? It's just like, why? I wake up, I look out the window, I feel sad. What's the point of that? Like, you're alive, there's a hillside. It's like, what's the big deal? Let's go for it.
All right, this song is called I'm Ready. It's like the lead single off my last album.
Right? I think, yeah. We have things constantly, instantly, all the time, and we like that. And if you hold on to something, your hands are full and you can't grab something else. So if you have a song that lasts too long in your heart and makes you think about it too much, then you don't have room for the next thing. It's a studio apartment. That's a pop song. It's great. You know, it's cool. There's a loft. There's like big windows. Or you can walk through a house with a big hallway with many doors that you can go into. I think Paul Simon's music, Prince's music, Michael Jackson's music has tons of doors that you can go in, so you can experience the songs over and over and over again in completely different ways. And I want to try to find a way to bring that back to the modern age, because I don't think it's that crazy of an idea. I'm Ready was the last one we played, and that one was the first single off Ghost Modern, and that was one that was born from staring at the ocean as if it was a language I could learn. So.
I'm high as a kite, babe. So why do I feel so low?
Welcome back to the Baeble Block Party.
For this week's throwback session, we're going back a few years to a unique performance we filmed in a camera store in the West Village.
When we filmed City in Color back in 2013, Dallas Green,
his first name is a city, his last name is a color.
Yep, very astute observation, India. I called you India. Oh.
You're like my mom. Come here and clean the dishes. You get your butt in here this instant.
When we filmed City in Color back in 2013, Dallas Green had recently left his band Alexis on Fire to focus on his more acoustic-leaning solo project.
With 100% of his creativity now invested in his solo project, Dallas felt free to make his most honest record to date.
Titled The Hurry and the Harm, Dallas brought 3 devastating songs from that record into this emotional session. You're going to love this.
Of Space and Time is about me leaving Alexis on Fire. I wrote that song while I was on tour, on the last American tour that Alexis on Fire did. On a day off, I was by myself. I was off somewhere else, and I wrote that song that day. And I tried to record it for A Little Hell, and I couldn't. It just didn't. It was like having an arm wrestling match with it. Like, just every time we tried to lay it down, it wasn't feeling right. And you can listen to it, and you can, if now that I've told you that, if you go back and listen to it, you can say, like, the whole elephant in the room.
There's a murder of crows flying high overhead on this desolate road. Well, I tend to forget about you and I fight to survive through this thunderous life. When we're not side by side, I'm roaming through the hills all alone. I'm trying to find my direction home. A question of space, a matter of time. Follow the stars until first light. I don't know what drugs to take to successfully alter the state that my mind has been in as of late. Something is eating away at my brain. There's an elephant in the back of the room, and it's standing in plain view. space, a matter of time. Follow the stars until the first light.
I feel like not having the two bands, the two creative sides, really just allowed the songs, whatever songs were willing to come out of me to sound, to sound a little bit dramatic, to come out. And I think what it allowed me to realize is that I did make the right decision, because what I was worried about mostly, if I were to stay with Alexis, was that my mind wasn't going to be there creatively for that style of music anymore, at least not at this point, and I would have been forcing myself to try and come up with songs for that band. Whereas touring on Little Hell and knowing that, and like finishing up and having all these new songs that were in the vein of what would become The Hurry and the Harm, made me realize that that's where my musical outlet is going for, at this point. Two Coins is a song, it's very special to me. It's my favorite song on the record, and I wrote the melody and the chorus years ago, but I just sort of couldn't figure out how to do, I couldn't figure out where I wanted to go with the verse. And then I actually finished that song in a dressing room on tour in Milwaukee, after a particularly bad stretch of days in my life, just sort of losing my way a little bit, as you can in this business. Before you make a record, you have visions of what the songs will be and what they'll sound like, and rarely does that ever come out. Things change a lot, and obviously it's very difficult to get exactly what you're hearing at the moment in your head out. And when I listen to Two Coins, it sounds exactly like I always imagined it would sound.
Northwest is where I'm headed, underneath the golden sky. I'm searching for wisdom that every man seeks to find. I've got wicked thoughts and brewing, many evil deeds I've done. I'm looking for a reason not to run. 'Cause I've always been dark, with light somewhere in the distance. I've always been dark, with light somewhere in the distance. I've got no destination, no place to call my own. I'll explore the constellations till I find the course I'm meant to hold. But come fever or come famine, come the biting winter cold, just put 2 coins upon my eyelids, so I can pay the boatman's toll. 'Cause I've always been dark with light somewhere in the distance. I've always been dark with light somewhere in the distance. I've been so unforgiving, stranded in old traditions. I've always been dark with light somewhere in the distance. I've always been dark with light somewhere in the distance. I've always been dark with light somewhere in the distance.
Yeah, I have a new record. It's called The Hurry and the Harm, and it comes out in June. It's my 4th record as under the City in Color moniker, and I'm very excited about it, very proud of it. I think there's a very particular reason that the record was made so soon after Little Hell, and that's because it's the first time that I didn't have to go. I don't want to say I didn't have to go because that makes it sound like it was a chore, but I didn't have an Alexis on Fire record to work on in between City in Color records, which I had been doing for about 6 years straight, you know, back and forth. So knowing that that wasn't there, every time I picked up a guitar to write, whether it be in between tours or on tour, the songs that came out were just these songs. And so when I got home, I sat there and realized I had all these new songs that I was really proud of and really wanted to go and record. So I think what the new record does is it just expands on the idea that City in Color is whatever I want it to be. It's not just me sitting in a room with an acoustic guitar. And at the same time, it's not me and it's not a band. It's just whatever I'm feeling at the moment, you know? So it's a very full record. There's, you know, lots going on. It's the most full band produced record I've ever made. Thirst is an interesting song because I actually initially wrote it for someone else. It was the very first time I'd ever done that. I was approached, you know, via email by some people. A certain artist, you know, was looking for songs, or their representation was looking for songs for them. And I had never really tried to do that before. I'd never thought I would be able to write a song for somebody else because my songs are pretty personal. And so I replied back and said, I can't do that. And then an hour later, I replied with, I wrote a song. And I sent it off, and we never heard anything from it. So I just assumed that they didn't like it, but then as time went on, I started to really like the song, and then started to come up with the idea that it could build into this really fun groove, which is on the record. It's, you know, it's a full band kind of soulful rockin' song. And yeah, but it's funny because then a little while later, I ran into the person that I was supposedly writing the song for, and I said, did you ever hear that song that I wrote for you? And she was like, what song? And I was like, Major Labels. That's what that is, you know? She didn't even know that people were looking for songs for her. And that made me feel really good about the fact that I have creative control over what I do, and my best friends are my management, you know? But it's, so I wrote that song from like a woman's scorn point of view. That's what I was going for. Then it just turned out to be a song that I really liked, which was good for me because it proved to me that I don't have to always be so, you know, emotionally invested and connected to my songs, and I can still write a song that I enjoy and like, so.
When I think of fate's worse than death, all I can think of was something you said. Said we were golden, bright like the sun, but now I am stranded, knowing I'm not the one. An ocean of anger flowing through me, bloodstained and broken from what I failed to see. Just like a snake charmer, you led me astray, living in distress, hoping help was on the way. In the midst of a storm, searching for shelter, I came upon one single feather, a half-hearted wish for something better, gracefully cursed. I thirst, attached to the soil, I'm dying in the womb. There's iron in my blood, yet so vulnerable. But after I'm gone, once I finally leave, you will be left alone to the wolves and the thieves. In the midst of a storm, searching for shelter, I came upon one single feather, a half-hearted wish for something better, gracefully cursed. I thirst, gracefully cursed. I thirst, gracefully cursed. I thirst, gracefully cursed. I thirst.
Now we're going to take the show in a completely different direction.
There isn't a ton of R&B music in our catalog, but what we lack in quantity, we make up for in quality.
A little while back, we had the opportunity to put together a steamy evening with the legendary R&B artist Mario.
Ooh la la.
Yeah. He brought a certain je ne sais quoi to the evening.
You're not sure? The man is a total Baeble Bay.
And he turned stage seduction into a total art form. He would end up shirtless on stage later that night.
As well as backstage.
This next artist, probably don't need to introduce. You all know who you're here to see, so Give it up for Mario.
You're ready for me? New York City, y'all put your hands in the air with me.
I wanna know your name, man. I wanna know if you got a man. I wanna know everything.
I wanna know your number and if I can come over. I wanna know what you like. I wanna know so I can do it all night. But you're telling me I'm just a friend. You're telling me I'm just a friend. Hey! I'm with you. Come on. Since I stay placed, I know you know I'm right. Stop playing games with me and let's get it on tonight. touch you, baby. You just need me to hold you, baby. Oh, baby. To me, that good love and protection. Just wanna be your... Where are my sexy ladies in the building tonight? Listen. Girl, turn me up and let me come through your speakers. Blow the sound out of your tweeters. Cause baby girl, this is the music for love. Shawty, don't be scared, just let the bass line hit you. Boom, boom, all up in your system. Cause baby girl, this is the music for love. Girl, if my frequency just go through your body. This party started. Baby girl, this is the music for love. Put me on repeat, girl, let's go again and again. No matter AM or FM. Cause baby girl, the music loud whenever nobody's around. Cause if the sun starts to wake up the neighbors, we're gonna have to turn it down. I'm about to have a real eruption, but there's gonna be no interruption. But baby, come push my buttons, I'll show you all my functions. Press play and let me start. Fast forward to your favorite part. After we're done, hit rewind. We'll go back to the time. Girl, turn me up and let me come through your speakers. Blow the sound out of your tweeters. Cause baby, girl, this is the music for love. Shawty, don't be scared, just let the bass line hit you. Boom, boom, all up in your system. Cause baby, girl, this is the music for love. Girl, if my frequency just flow through your body. Get this party started. Cause baby, girl, this is the music. If you know the words, I want y'all to sing tonight. Girl, let's go again and again. No matter AM or FM. Cause baby, girl, see, I'll keep you moving your body. I'll be the DJ that turns this private party on, baby. Play your favorite song from my iTunes to your iPod, girl. Girl, I know to put it on. We'll do this all night long. Let's sing along as long as you sing in my microphone. Oh, yeah, we gotta worry about the running that follows me. Cause girl, we run in the music we're making, baby, we're making the love. Girl, turn me up and let me come through your speakers. Just wanna, baby. Cause baby, girl, this is the music for love. Shawty, don't be scared, just let the bass line hit you. Bring me my phone. This is the, cause baby, girl, this is the music for love. Girl, if my frequency just flow through your body. Get this party started. Baby, girl, this is the music for love. Put me on repeat, girl, let's go again and again. No matter. Cause baby, this is the music for love. Stay on my hotline, yeah. Tell the DJ to play it all night. Baby, come and hear what you sound like. Baby, in heavy rotation, girl, I'll be on your station. Let me know. Stay on my hotline. Tell the DJ to play it all night. Just wanna play it now. Let me hear what you sound like. Hands in the air from south side. Let's go. Let me know. Turn me up and let me come through your speakers. Blow the sound out of your tweeters. Cause baby, cause girl, this is the music for love. Shawty, don't be scared, just let the bass line. Just let it catch you, baby. Cause baby, this is the music for love. Girl, if my frequency just flow through your body. Get this party started. Cause baby, this is the music for love. Put me on repeat, girl, let's go again and again. No matter AM or FM. Cause baby, girl, this is the music for love. It's me on the hotline, yeah. Tell the DJ to play it all night. Baby, come in. Just wanna play some music for love. Just turn me up in that bar. Come down your New York City, make some noise one time, man, for the band. We today.
Welcome back to the Baeble Block Party. Okay, so our profile today is a few years old, but that's cool because our next artist is about to drop his new album, Electric Light, this May.
James Bay might have cut his hair, ditched his trademark hat and put on a sparkly new shirt. But our interview with him is still very much relevant in the lead up to his brand new album.
His look and sound have changed, but if you watched this interview a couple years ago when we first released it, you could almost see it coming.
That's because the 27-year-old musician has a somewhat restless approach to writing music.
He always wanted to be a solo musician because it would give him the liberty to indulge in different styles and creative personalities, which helps explain his approach to electric light.
Try to keep you close to me.
The first guitar, yeah, it was there. It was always there, really, in the house. You know, and I remember sort of being aware of it when I was about 6 years old, but I really found it and went for it at 11. My dad was, you know, he was always playing music in the house, but one weekend he turned it up just loud enough and he was playing Layla by Derek and the Dominoes, Eric Clapton's band. And that was the moment, that was it. I heard that riff and I was just like, that's me. I need to do that now. So yeah, I pulled the guitar out the cupboard and we got it set up and I was away.
Hold back the river, hold back. Once upon a different life.
Initially I got to being this solo guy because I was the one in the band who was always kind of like, as soon as we'd settled on a lineup and we'd been a certain sound for 5 minutes, I was like, but what about if we get a keyboard player and we kind of strip the drums down and we try and be this now? Which is essentially really annoying for everybody else because they were like, but I thought we were this. So I was that guy, and that says a lot about who I am now and why I kind of ended up going solo as it were. You know, it comes down to, I suppose in some respects, ego. And wanting to be the frontman eventually. I enjoyed being the guitar player because I was so focused on guitar. My difference compared to a lot of my friends that were learning to play the guitar is I was never against singing. I wasn't singing lead, but I wasn't against it. Say to guys like, you want to sing a bit? No, I don't sing. No, I'm not going to, you know, other guys in the band, they're like, no, I don't sing, I just play guitar. I was always down for backing vocals, whatever. And I was listening more and more to solo artists, James Taylor, Bill Withers, you know, Bob Dylan, and then, you know, more recent people like Ray LaMontagne and Adele and Feist, you know. I was listening to those guys and I liked the idea of it, you know, and I thought I could give it a shot.
Lonely water, won't you let us wander? Let us hold each other. Hold back the river, let me look in your eyes.
My debut album is called Chaos and the Calm. The title embraces everything I'm talking about. The title embraces, yeah, the last 3 or 4 years of my life, the journey. It kind of embraces the journey so far and probably where it's going as well. It's such the whole experience is still kind of fresh in my mind, and I'm still questioning everything, you know. Making an album is difficult when you've never done it before. It's exciting and it's great at the same time, but it's decision making. You're setting things in stone. So I'm glad that live music exists and that these songs will live on in all their different forms because we don't play the click or any of that stuff. I mean, it's pretty much the most important thing in my life, and it's about a collection of songs. You know, there are artists out there, respectfully, that are about putting 2 singles out and, you know, filling out an album with some stuff, and that's the world that they live in, and I respect that and I appreciate that. But personally, you know, I'm about, if it's 12 tracks, I'm about all 12. The whole middle 8 of If You Ever Want to Be in Love. I was on the tube, I was on the subway in London, and it came to me and I had nothing. I might have had my phone, but there was like 1 million people in my face and I couldn't even sing it in. So I just ran it round in my head. Don't forget this, don't forget this, don't forget this. And I just ran it round in my head and I managed to hold on to it. And as I was doing that, I had the melody and I knew what the chords were. And then the words start coming. And that's a third thing to try and remember. And it's like, don't forget this. So it's tough. It's exciting. fact that gigs sell out means a lot to me, and they've been doing that a lot since the album's been out. And then on top of that, hearing the entire room sing all the words back, knowing that they've bought the album. I mean, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that in the world. It's a good feeling. It doesn't seem entirely me all of the time. I can quite easily be reserved and quiet. And I find a lot of times when I want to be that as well. But I guess, without meaning to sound super cheesy and say all the things that everybody says, I do feel at home there. And I feel like myself the most. And I have so much fun. It's just one, in another respect, it's just one version of me, the on-stage version. But I have the greatest time there. It's not just about the performer, it's not just about the crowd, it's about the relationship, the reactions that are had and that occur. Those things create kind of the persona on stage, the entertainer sort of element. Being on stage is kind of a celebration. It's the most fantastic thing for me out there.
Why don't you be you and I'll be me and I'll be me.
Trying to fit your hand inside of mine when we know it just don't belong. There's no force on earth could make it feel right. No.
All I want my music to do is make people feel something. I'm trying for my music to say something, and to move people. Yeah.
Now's the time to let it slide. So come on, let it go. Oh, just let it be. Why don't you be you and I'll be me?
Hey, this is James Bay, and you're watching Baeblemusic.
Oh, leave it to the breeze. Let the ashes fall.
Finally this week, we're leaving you with another throwback with the supremely lovable New York City trio, Jukebox The Ghost. Stop laughing at me. Jukebox The Ghost.
They swung by our Bands and Brews kegger at the old Baeble townhouse a few years back.
Today, they're busy blowing up with sold-out shows wherever they go and a new album called Off to the Races that just came out.
So it's nice to return to this concert, basically captured in a living room, as a reminder of where they came from.
Check it out, and if you like what you see and hear, roll on over to Baeblemusic.com.
Or any one of our amazing video apps.
And see the full show, plus hundreds of other unique concerts, sessions, and interviews. Thanks for joining us this week. Did you do this when I said roll? Yes. That was really funny.
I was like, well, we already
roll.
Hello, everybody at the party. Let's bring it in.
I want your eyes to turn. I need it. I want it. I want somebody, baby.
So it's time to party, right? All right.
'Cause I'm walking on a string. They only slam anymore. Like we're pulling out teeth. And I could just see your eyes just above your shoulder. And you were scanning the skies for me. I dreamt like you were some long forgotten soldier. Like I was someone that you cared for. Oh, I want it, I need it, I want it, I need it, I want somebody. I want it, I need it, I want your eyes to turn. I need it, I want it, I want somebody, baby. Now this is my turn. Ooh, I don't want any more heartbreak. I'm tired of the sound it makes. Not trying to shut out the dark at night. You close your eyes, but it won't erase where nothing that's spoken is known. Let the winter be my station, I'll let the cold teach me what to know. That there might be somebody after me. Oh, I want it, ha, I need it. Ooh, I want it, oh, I want it, I need it. I want it, I need it, I want somebody. I want it, I need it, I want your eyes to turn. I need it, I want it, I want somebody, baby. Now this is my turn. So anyway, this is a song, a new song called The Great Unknown. Walking through the heavy light, the streets are empty and you don't feel right. You didn't want to let yourself down, so don't be scared to get out. Here's 1,000 voices saying the time is now. So let go, you're on your own. There's something waiting for you, there's something waiting for you. So let go of the world you know. There's something waiting for you in the great unknown. The great unknown. Keep your head up, don't take your eyes off the road. Though you're never gonna change by doing what you're told. You don't wanna let yourself down, so don't be scared to stand out. Here's 1,000 voices saying the time is now. So let go, you're on your own. There's something waiting for you, there's something waiting for you. So let go of the world you know. There's something waiting for you in the great unknown. The great unknown. In the great unknown. In the great unknown. The great unknown. The great unknown. The time is now, so let go. You're on your own. There's something waiting for you, there's something waiting for you. So let go of the world you know. There's something waiting for you in the great unknown. So let go the world you know. There's something waiting for you, there's something waiting for you. So let go of the world you know. There's something waiting for you in the great unknown.
All right, we're gonna play just one more new one, and then we'll get back to the golden oldies you all know so well from our greatest hits.
Seems like many years ago. It's strange how you can never know who's going to stay with you and who will leave. Do you remember me? Do you remember me? We walked through the park at night, gazing up at all the silent lights in the city made it hard to see. Do you remember me? Do you remember me? inside. Caught beneath the ocean, searching for a sign of life. One day down the road you'll find something that you kept inside. Caught beneath the ocean, a part of us is still
Well, thanks to Baeble for having us. It's been a pleasure. Once again, we are Jukebox The Ghost from here.
That it felt like this we were never told. That it felt like this we were never told. And it scares us bad, so we'll have to be bold. But there's still one thing that we need to know. Did everybody say what a good day that it was for? Everybody who said what a good day that it was. Smile as they like it, the smile as they like it today. Whoa, did everybody say what a good day that it was for? Everybody who said what a good day that it was. Smile as they like it, the smile as they like it today. Whoa, did everybody say what a good day that it was for? Everybody who said what a good day that it was. Smile as they like it, the smile as they like it today. Whoa, did everybody say what a good day that it was for? Everybody who said what a good day that it was. Smile as Thank you all so much. Thanks to Baeble. You're excellent people. Thank you for the dog that drank water. Have a great night.